Hello, fellow foreigners. It's Emily. It's Peter. We're living in China, not discovering it. And we thought maybe just let's do a little catch up. We've been so busy with there's so many things on our channel. We're making a web series. A web series. Is that a word? A web series. We're making videos. We're making experimental jobbies. We're doing vlogs. We're doing all kinds of things.
We're making up nouns.
Yep. And we didn't really have a lot of chance lately to just to check in with you, see how you guys are doing, you know?
And really check in with us.
Check in with us.
You can see how we are doing.
Turn it around. So what are you up to? What have you been doing these days lately?
What haven't I been doing? Well, no, we are finishing up our school year. We still have 2 weeks left, and we got a whole week off before we start school again. But everybody's definitely in like end of school mode. We went swimming on Friday. The school has like a tiny little, well, it's like large in area, but not very deep.
Just in case you knew, it's a kindergarten.
It's a kindergarten.
It's not a college.
Yeah.
High school. You're a swimming teacher. There could be such a thing, right?
Definitely. Not me. I'm not a very good swimmer, but
that would be sad.
I mean, I'm a functional swimmer, but I'm not like fast or good
You could teach functional swimming.
I could how not to drown. That's what I could do. And nobody drowned, so that was nice. And the kids played with their water guns, but like we're getting to end of the year lessons that are go in the pool and play with water guns. So that's how school's going. And then what are we doing? We're making drink up Blue Joe.
We just came back from Chongqing.
Yep.
That was a whole fun experience because we haven't gone a lot. We used to go a lot.
Yeah.
Now we're trying to get back in the groove.
Back in the swing of things.
And but that was just a quick in and out and then summer broke.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
It's been so hot. It's been like 30, 34, 36 degrees every day. So hot.
Yeah.
I think my tomatoes don't like it.
How's the plants doing?
They're doing so good, except for the tomatoes are just growing slow, and they might be supposed to be growing slow. I'm learning so much about plants. You not only can you underwater, but you can overwater, and you can oversun, and you can undersun.
What
any
is the
quality worst? It's possible to do too much or too little.
What's the worst? Would you rather oversun or overwater? One is mold and one is just fries, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a matter of better or worse. It's a matter of, do you want your plant to live? But the pepper plant is thriving. I repotted it a few weeks ago because it was too small. And now it's had one pepper for a couple months that we actually have to eat.
Do you think?
And then now it's just like sprouted a whole bunch of new peppers that in a couple months we'll have hot peppers.
We'll be flying. Do you think it's because of our Sichuan Valley ecosystem that the pepper is really jumping and jiving, wailing?
Yes. When the Portuguese imported hot peppers to Asia, they grew really well in this region, so people started eating them.
There we go.
The not funny answers. That's how it happened.
Now we know that.
Yeah.
And then people were just spicy from here then on. That's the history of Sichuan.
Yeah.
That's how they got spicy. Before then, I wonder what they did. They just kind of had regular peppers.
You're entering an area that there is actually a lot of scholarship on, and this physical area, this room is a very fertile valley, so they've always had like very delicious food here, and then the pursuit of spices, led to conquering of the world.
Yeah, that's why it's the best province in the world, right here in Sichuan.
Not by the Sichuanese. But empires were founded and fell based on the search for spices, according to some interpretations of history.
Yeah. So that's great. What else have we got?
That's not what our vlog is about, though. Go to the library, read those books.
Well, it could be. You never know. I don't know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
What other things then that are less interesting? What else have we done? We're filming our web series.
We filmed out of order, so we filmed the last episode last week, and then next week we're gonna film the last one that needs to be filmed, but in order of air.
And why did we do that? I've already forgotten.
Oh my goodness, it's so boring. The logistics of filming meant that one location was available this time, and then another location would be available this time.
That's the thing with movies, is that like you want to see the backstage,
you do not
the excitement.
Want to see the backstage.
It's just a lot of set.
So boring.
Especially like now, even in an air-conditioned room, it's still 1,000,000 degrees, and it's a lot of sitting around, a lot of sweating, a lot of like just painful like knee pains, and
well, and the big thing, especially with independent and guerrilla filming, you made a video of us getting yelled at for filming in a place, which
go watch it.
Yeah, we had like cleared with them first that we would be filming there, and we expected the restaurant to be empty, and they expected the restaurant to be empty because usually it was, and then they had
Tuesday night.
They had a lot of guests that night who were like annoyed that we were filming. And this is the problem with indie filming all over the world. This is not a Chinese problem. This is all, nobody likes to be around a film set, and nobody likes to have a film set thrust upon them. And even people who said yes, like that would be I worked on a couple films in New York City, and people who said like, yes, you could use my house, like halfway through the day would be like, can you get out of my house now? Like, it is not fun to be on a film set, and if you are not making the film, your patience with that shit is like nothing.
And especially I
advised, my sister had someone come scout her house, and I was like, if you really were excited to be in a film, I would say yes, but having seen what a film crew, even a small film crew, can do to your house, I would say no.
Because people trash that shit.
So that my advice to you, as a filmmaker even, is do not let your home be a film set.
And some people are a lot of people are just like, it's kind of fun, and maybe they're like on board and they want to come and check it out, and then they get bored of it instantly once they realize how bored it is. But then there's always like that one person that is like, wants to wander over and be like, what the hell? What the hell is this? I come out for a night, I pay for a good meal.
Or like I was a PA on some films, and that's the biggest thing, especially with an indie shoot where you don't have actual permits. But even if you do have permits to shut down the street, people are like, why can't I walk down the street? Why can't I drive down the street? And like,
especially if they live there.
Yeah, it's the job of the least paid person on set to be like, well, you just can't go down the street. Yeah. It really sucks.
Poor little sucker.
And we don't even have that person. It's still us. Yeah. Although fortunately for us, and public thank you to our Chinese actor Christopher, because he spoke the best Chinese, they yelled at him. Yeah. But he handled it pretty well.
Yeah. You can see it all on the tape.
Yeah. Well, but I just want to clarify, like, we weren't doing anything nefarious, but except that making films, like, nobody likes that to be around them, even if they thought that they did.
We had clearance from the owner until we didn't.
Yeah. Because like, it's not like we paid for the location, so she can't be like, I'm turning away guests for you guys.
Yeah. Well, and especially we were going to order we wanted to film first, and then we were going to order a whole big meal. Yeah. But then they were closing, which was another part. We were like, so we could come in, and she's like, yeah, we're open all night. It's all fine. Yeah. And then we're like, it's closing to 10:30. She's like, the cook is going home. We're like, oh my God, we haven't even started. We haven't finished. Oh my, I'm so sorry. What are we going to do?
Yeah. And then I was like, with our group, like, brainstorming ways to make this right. I was like, well, what if we just offer to like pay for a dinner that we didn't eat? And they were like, we're going to drink all these beers. That's pure profit for them. You don't need to pay for extra dinner.
Yeah.
So in the end, our cast just drank a lot of beer, and everyone was happy.
Yeah. That's one of the nice things also about working with Chinese people in your crew is you've got somebody, and any situation, have Chinese friends if you're in China, just generally, but also it helps out in these situations where we're like, we'll do anything, and he's like, fuck that, I'm not doing that with that guy.
Yeah.
Let him take care of it.
And in the end, you know, I think you included in the video, where everyone was all smiles, and
it all turned out great. We'll go back and we'll have dinner there sometime real soon.
I can still hold my head up when we go back to eat dinner there.
Yeah.
But I will not bring a film crew there again.
What you're having a hard time holding your head up for is through the allergies.
Oh my goodness. We had so much rain and then so much pollen now. And I don't want to get too into this because we have another segment on.
Oh, okay. I see.
But I've been
you're sneezing a lot, though.
Sneezing up a storm. It's wonderful.
So we'll get into that in another one. What else are we going through? We had a couple nice, a nice little surge of subscribers this week, which was nice. Like, hello,
Welcome.
new people. That's always good to see, because we're going in ebbs and flows. Like we know that like. I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know how it works.
Well, it does seem to come in bursts, and then we'll like stall out, like go up and down the same number.
You'd like to think that it was like because of what we're putting out, but like we put out.
Doesn't seem to respond.
Yeah, we pretty much put out a video every day, and nothing has really changed in that. Like we put out one kind of video one week, and like every day is like a different kind of video, and we've been doing it that way for months and months and years.
Which is explicitly against the advice of all the
we're
YouTube gurus.
We're wailing against the flow on this one. But the so where it comes from, it also might be the time of the season. Like there's a lot of people that, you know, whether you either go on vacation or so there's less vloggers, or maybe there's more vloggers because people are on vacation
and you're bored of your family.
Yeah.
I need to find what's on YouTube.
Right. You can never really tell without. I know I've personally been the Reddits and the Facebook groups that I had, like I pretty much just stopped them now because it's just I can't. And, you know, initially it was interesting to know about all the vloggers that are out there in our niche of China.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of, there's so many, but they're so inconsistent. Like it'll come in a giant wave because of whatever, because of a holiday, because of a pandemic, because of like school systems, or so there'll be like a ton of them.
Right.
And then they'll all go away, and you're like, oh, I was just getting to know those guys, and then everyone like slowly disappears, and they'll come back, and but then a new batch will come in, and it's just like this continuous, like it's too hard to like.
Too hard to keep up.
There's too many. Like, so I've started like unsubscribing and deleting everybody. I just can't be bothered to. I mean, I don't need any more knowledge of what it's like to live in China. Where am I?
For my part, I keep inventing the magazine.
Yeah.
I go online and I'm like, I wish there was just like one place that had a bunch of articles. And actually, if it was on paper and someone mailed it to my door every morning or every month or every week, and like it would all be articles that probably I'd be interested in, like some editor chose them.
Right.
And oh yeah, that's a magazine, and they died.
Make that even more niche down into like China and the expat world.
Yeah, or like, or specifically to us, we were just looking at some upcoming music shows in our greater area, because not Luzhou. And I was like, I wish there was like one place where I could find listings and reviews of all the shows in Chongqing and Chengdu, and like how they talk about the music and the history of these bands. Oh, I've invented a music magazine for one. Yeah. All I can hope for is like being subscribed on Facebook to like Nuts Club or something in Chongqing and a little bit of Chengdu. But even that, like there isn't like a big focus on Radii is, which I think they're Beijing based, but they're covering all the arts in China as best as they can. But even like they're like a small, and they're in there. They're really like. They're talking to some really interesting artists. Go check them out. Radii, two eyes. Like the part of a circle. And they've got some great articles. They're up on like the best music happening. That's how we found last week South Acid Mimi in Chongqing. Was they had covered them like a couple of years now. They've been around. Okay. Their album came out in 2018, so it wasn't like they were just burst onto the scene like yesterday. Right. So but that's when we found them. They've been touring for 2 years. Yeah. But there's just about there's Beijing Underground on Facebook, and I don't know how else they're done, but that's just kind of like what's happening in Beijing. The inherent problem is not all of this stuff is totally on the up and up, and so they can't advertise too much. And they definitely don't advertise in English that much, because when you do go to these shows, there's not a lot of English speakers there. It's mostly Chinese people. Right. Like, I know that Chengdu has a very vibrant gallery scene, but for me, it's been really hard to track down. I mostly see like if like Sixth Tone covers something after the fact, then like, oh, I would have liked to have gone to this.
Right.
And then like if I write, there's no like gallery like in Time Out New York, you know, they'd have the gallery address, the dates, and like there's no gallery address. And I wrote to the editor once because I was like, this sounds like a really cool show. Can you tell me the address? And she's like, no. I could give you the WeChat of this artist and like his public WeChat, so like you can follow his.
Yeah.
But I can't just give out the address.
Or the place is gone.
Yeah,
the entire venue is gone.
So that's challenging.
Yeah. So
especially because it's not directly in our city. Like in our city, we do know people who do that kind of thing.
Yeah, but finding
but not a lot of people do that kind
and
of
that's
thing.
what we're trying.
There's no art galleries.
We're trying to find that in China in general. Of
we're trying
what
to start that.
We're started. That's the thing. Is like a lot of what we're trying to do here. I mean, this is kind of just goes back to what I was just saying about like there's not information that I'm getting from other China vloggers that is of interest to people like us that have lived here for a long time and are looking to expand.
Because a lot of it just isn't in English, and if they don't know Chinese, then that's not part of what the articles they read that they're summarizing.
Yeah, a lot of it is like there's like Guns N' Roses night at the Mackenzie bar or something like that.
Right.
So that doesn't really help us all that much. So, yeah, I mean, you're always practicing Chinese, so trying to find all these things, even with a certain amount of knowledge, is really tough to do. And that's part of like why we do what we do. What we're doing here is to talk to people like you to see like if you know about stuff.
Because some of you are Chinese.
Yeah. Put it down in the comments. Tell us who we should be listening to. Tell us what movies we should see. Like this is stuff and if you're an artist yourself, comment to us. Like we want to work with you.
Link us your work. We want to see.
That's definitely it. There's like you have to really go to a big city and to like an art school.
That's what we're up to this week is starving for art. So same as every other week.
Just give us your art, man. Anything else exciting going on?
No.
Screw you.
Noodles to you.